So I'll hand the floor over to you for 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to our ministers for attending committee. Minister Anand Sangari, are you familiar with Jordan's Principle?
Yes, I am.
And do you support Jordan's Principle?
Yes, I do.
And Jordan's Principle clearly says that all First Nations children living in Canada will receive the products, services, and support that they need when they need them. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Correct.
So, Mr. Fogg, if I may just interject, this area is very much the purview of Minister Hajdu. So I will have limited ability to answer questions relating to this particular issue.
Yeah, I think you should still be, it's still all under Indigenous services. And I think you should be able to answer it.
So my role is that of Minister of Crown and Indigenous Relations. So I do think that this is best directed to Minister Hajdu.
Correct. So I'm just wondering, when a person of non-Indigenous status receives money intended for Indigenous peoples, do you really think that, like Randy Boissonneau's company, do you really think that's fair when the Hanover School Division in my riding has had to issue 93 layoff notices to Jordan's Principal Educational Assistants because their funding was yanked by your department? Is that fair?
Mr. Fogg, it's not my department, and I will not be able to answer this question.
Well, Indigenous Service Canada had indicated to the Hanover School Division in May that and I'll quote you, it says, I can 100% confirm that if a school division is renewing an EA request for a student who had an EA approved in the same division 23-24, they can inform the EAA that they will be rehired for the 24-25 school year. The invoice that the school division submitted to your department for September was rejected on October 31st. Is that fair that money that...
And with great respect to you, Mr. Fogg, Mr. Chair, I'm unable to answer questions that are outside of my portfolio, and I am not, for the record, the Minister of Indigenous Services Canada. I am the Minister of Crown and Indigenous Relations. So this is a matter that, and as in your own words, sir, directly involves Indigenous Services Canada, and I would encourage you, and I'm sure Minister Hajdu would be more than glad to answer those questions, that you direct those questions to her.
Well, I'm wondering if you think it's fair.
I'm not, I will not be able to come to a conclusion on a matter that I have limited knowledge on.
Okay, so what you're saying is it's not of a great enough concern for you that there's 93 educational assistants that have been issued layoff notices and will be unable to provide necessary service to Indigenous children that better equips them.
Asked and answered.
Sorry, Mr. Batiste, point of order.
Yes, asked and answered. Repetition. He's asking the same question on a file that he knows is not under the minister's gambit. You can't take all Indigenous things in Canada and put them under just one minister. That's what the Conservatives did.
Just on the same point of order, can you shut him down when he's obviously not
Thank you very much,
standing
Mr.
orders?
Batiste.
Sorry,
enforce the
a little bit of knowledge about Indigenous.
Mr. Batiste.
That unhelpful to their simple narratives, but there's a lot more.
It's not a matter of order.
This is not a point of order. I want to get back to the matter at hand here. And the minister, it seems to me the minister is answering the best that he can. We did have Minister Hajdu here earlier this evening to speak to this issue. The member does have about 1:45 left in his time, and I'll start the clock so you can continue with your questioning.
Well, Minister Anasangari, you did indicate you work closely with Minister Hajdu. And so this is something that you could carry forward. As to, the department says that urgent issues, when it comes to issues of Jordan's Principle, will be addressed within 48 hours. This is an urgent issue, sir. It also says that non-urgent issues will be addressed within a week. This is an urgent issue, sir. This needs to be addressed. There are Indigenous children that need the support that is provided by an educational assistant and are currently not going to be able to get that support. Will you commit to carrying that forward to Minister Hajdu?
Mr. Falk, I will be more than glad to convey your concerns to Ms. Hajdu. I also want to encourage you. I have not had a single question from the Conservative Party since my appointment on my portfolio. So I encourage you, if you do want to ask a question to Ms. Hajdu, I don't believe you've asked a question to her either. At question period, you're more than welcome to also hold our government to account through that means as well.
Been all these Liberal points of orders when the minister was here, I perhaps would have had a round to be able to ask her that question, but your Liberal colleagues have prevented me from doing that. I'm good.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Falk.